Coming up on At the Heart of It with Nancy Brown.
There's so much to look forward to. The unknown can be one of the greatest things. If you could say anything to your heart, what would it be?
As one of the biggest names in the fitness industry, my guest today played himself on TV. For 17 seasons, the motivational trainer appeared on The Biggest Loser, where millions of viewers tuned in to witness his gentle, supportive approach, helping contestants along their weight loss journeys. But when he suffered a massive heart attack at age 52, Bob Harper became the one who needed support. Today, we're discussing the personal side of personal fitness and Bob's newfound strategies for surviving and thriving. Welcome to At the Heart of It. I'm Nancy Brown, CEO of the American Heart Association.
Renowned around the world as the longest reigning star of the NBC reality series The Biggest Loser, Bob Harper seemed like the picture of health to millions of fans. So the world was shocked when he suffered a heart attack during a workout. Approximately every 40 seconds, an American will have a heart attack. About 12% of people who have a heart attack will die from it, and heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Lifestyle factors such as poor diet, smoking, or lack of exercise can increase the likelihood of heart disease, but genetics also plays a role. Bob discovered that he has a hereditary condition called familial hypercholesterolemia, or FH for short. FH is a genetic disorder that leads to high levels of LDL cholesterol and increases the risk of cardiovascular diseases, such as heart attacks and strokes. Since his heart attack, Bob also has a new mission: to raise awareness about heart health, early detection and treatment, and to advocate for survivors.
Bob, thank you so much for joining me today on At the Heart of It. It's so great to see you again after so many years.
It's been a while. It's really nice to see you too.
It has been a while. I would love to start with my signature 5, which is something I do with all of my guests on the show, so we can get to know a little bit more about you.
Let's go.
All right. Stretching before or after a workout?
Both.
Tell me why.
Because you need a little bit of stretch before, but your body's really ready at the end for the good and solid stretch.
And what's your favorite stretch?
My favorite stretch would have to be downward dog.
Okay. Hot yoga or hot tea?
That's easy. Hot yoga. I teach it. I do it. I've been doing it. I've been doing hot yoga for the past 6 years.
Was it hard to get acclimated to it?
Oh, I'm still not acclimated. Are you kidding me? I just got finished doing a class where it was so hot. I was just like, wait, tell me why I do this again. But afterwards, I feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah. Is it hard to convince people to do hot yoga?
Absolutely. Because when I teach classes, the rooms are about 115 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
The humidity, especially living in New York City, oh my goodness, the humidity is insane.
Can't imagine. All right, warrior pose or child's pose?
Oh, God, I love them both. But warrior pose, I believe that there's something about a warrior pose that just makes you feel invincible. There's something so strong about it, and I'm just always drawn to the powerful asanas.
Okay, long meals or long walks?
These are good because there's benefits to both. I'm picking long walks. One thing that people ask me all the time is, if I could do one thing, what would it be to lose weight? I'm like, don't worry so much about all the other exercises. Walk, track your steps. Do as many steps as you can in a day, and the next week try to top that.
Yeah, do more tomorrow than you did today. Small dog or big dog?
Oh, I'm a small dog person, so I'm going small dog.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I love my Bichons and Havanese, and you love your Havanese.
And I mean, I love all dogs. I'm a crazy dog person, but my little dogs, it's like, always having them to just hold, and my dog sleeps with me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Bob, one thing that has always amazed me about you is how your coaching has inspired millions of people around the world. Have you always had a calling to help others?
I've always had a calling to help others, but I wasn't aware of it until I fell into the fitness world. And when I got into the fitness world and I started working with people one-on-one and figuring out what their goals were, I got so invested And that's just the person that I am. Anything that I do, I'm gonna do it at 100%. I'm gonna give you all of me if you do the same for me in this goal-oriented business of fitness.
So you've been an expert in the fitness industry for 30 years. You only look 30, so I don't know how you could have been an expert for 30 years. Tell us about how your recent experience has affected the way you think about health and fitness and the role it plays in your own life.
One thing that I've learned since after having my heart attack is learning how to pivot. I'm a very type A person. I am a person that likes a plan. Like my workouts are set in stone, and it's all very regimented this way. And with my heart attack, I had to throw all that out the window. I mean, it had to all change, which was really hard, but also liberating. And the things that I could do in my 20s, 30s, or 40s, I don't necessarily believe that I can do them. I've learned what's really important, and I don't need to be the strongest person all the time.
That moment you had your heart episode, I remember it so very clearly. And of course, I've followed your journey all along the way. And one of the things I know is that you didn't realize you had a genetic predisposition to cardiovascular disease. Tell us about that journey. How did you find that out? And what have you done since learning about your genetic predisposition?
I'll tell you, one thing that I've always preached is that you should know your body from the inside out. And for me, I thought that I knew my body when I really didn't. I didn't have all the information. And so now, when it comes to my own health and fitness journey, knowing where I am genetically predisposed, the light's been turned on in the room of my life. I think that the more information that you have about your body, the better it's going to be, right? Can I do everything that I can to prevent having another heart attack? I don't know if I can prevent it, but I can really stack the deck in my favor.
We always say at the American Heart Association that knowing your family history really matters. When you learned about your diagnosis, how did that change the conversation in your family?
I'm very open and upfront about, have you ever heard of an Lp(a) test that you can get when you do a cholesterol test at your doctor's? Ask the questions. And I have some family members that they said, well, I'm just kind of intimidated. I don't know what to say. And I say, that's what you say to them.
Right.
You ask your healthcare provider, you ask your doctor, I know I should be asking you questions. I don't really know what I should be asking. I need your help. And that's why they're there.
For all of us who watched you faithfully on The Biggest Loser, one of the pieces of advice you always gave was listen to your own body. Did you have any clues before your heart attack that this was about to happen? Like if you go back in time, do things pop up and you say, I might have paid attention to this or that?
Yes, absolutely. And it's the one thing, if I've ever had guilt about anything, it would probably be that, because I have always said, listen to your body. It's God tapping you on the shoulder. It's something. It's the universe kind of throwing up a red flag, right? And that was happening to me. I was having these major dizzy spells, and about, I want to say 6 weeks before my actual heart attack and going into cardiac arrest, I fainted in a gym. And when you faint, that is one of the biggest telling signs. People just don't faint for no reason. And I fainted, and then I was experiencing these dizzy spells. And at one point, I went to this one doctor, and he looked at me, and I was just I was the picture of health. I looked great. And he was like, you probably just have vertigo. And you could take something for that and say, just okay, but I knew something was up. And I remember it was a Friday, and I had my heart attack on that Sunday, and I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone, and I'd said, you know what, these dizzy spells are not, it's not vertigo, something's up, and I'm gonna go see a specialist. And then I had my heart attack.
Yeah, that's incredible, and really does go to show, pay attention to your body, do what your body's telling you to do, and doctors and hospitals exist to help people uncover their symptoms, so never apologize for going to the doctor or a hospital.
Exactly. You're exactly right. And I've worked so much with so many heart attack survivors, and I've heard that story so many times, and I hear it, well, I was gonna say I hear it more from men, but now I hear it with a lot of women that I've talked with and worked with, because it's almost like I don't have time to have a heart attack. I don't have to. I've got a family. I've got kids. I've got.
We'll have to schedule this in 3 weeks from
And it's
Tuesday.
like I'm fine. It's just indigestion. I'm not going to the doctor right now. And it's just like having the courage to just say, you know what? Something's not right. I got to go get it checked out. And then you know what? Go get it checked out, and if it's nothing, then you can all laugh it off.
Exactly. We have a really important campaign at the HA called Don't Die of Doubt, where we try to educate people listen to your body and don't die of doubt. Now, you forged a very special relationship with the people that saved you. Tell us about that.
When I woke up from my heart attack and then I'd gone into cardiac arrest, they had to put me in a coma. I was in a coma for 2 days on ice. I didn't even know what had happened. And when I woke up, it was like the most special people in my life, not only here in New York, but Tennessee, where my family is, and in Los Angeles. They were there for me to hear about my anxiety, my fear. As a heart attack survivor, not knowing, I remember just walking the streets, going to cardiac rehab, which was a lifesaver for me, thinking, oh my God, something could I have another heart attack right now? And I would look around, I would assess every room I was in, and I would be thinking, are you the person that's going to step up and give me high quality CPR? Because that's the only reason I'm here today. I was at a place where I had my heart attack, that there was someone that knew how to perform high quality CPR.
And access 911 right away. Yes.
Access 911 right away, and then start performing. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, being aware of your surroundings and making sure people around you know CPR, that there's defibrillators nearby, all of that is really important, and part of why we're doing our Nation of Lifesavers campaign at AHA, a way to help make sure that everyone has equal access to high-quality CPR. So part of your journey of recovery was following your own advice to break things into small, manageable steps. Mm-hmm. What were your steps? And tell us about that journey of recovery. My journey, it's a bit in twofold, right? You have to remember, before my heart attack, I was in what I thought was the best shape of my life. And then I went from that to having a heart attack where when I came out of the hospital 8 days later, I couldn't walk around a city block without feeling winded, without feeling exhausted. And I knew then that I would have to take everything day by day and take it slowly and not feel like I needed to be the person that I used to be. Because that was my thing. I was just like, I just want to get back. I want to get back. Whatever that means, I think about that now and I find it not funny, but I wanted to go back to the way that it was. And when I finally swallowed that pill, I'm not going to be, or that can't be my goal. My goal right now is to just be able to walk. And that's all I did. And I've had to make adjustments, and I have forgiven or I've allowed myself not to think I need to be somebody that I used to be, because I'm totally different now. I'm a different person, and that's okay. Yeah. I love that you've put all of that together for you, and as you're helping and coaching other people, as we said earlier, this idea of the mind-body connection is really key. Tell us about your journey emotionally after your event. The emotional journey was really hard because, of course, all my doctors checking numbers, making sure I was doing my cardiac rehab, checking all the boxes. This one doctor, he just stopped me at one point. He went, I want you to just ask, if you could say anything to your heart, what would it be? Tears started rolling down my face, and the only thing that came out of my mouth was, why did you give up on me? Oh. And that's what I had said to my heart. And it's this heart that's been beating, that beats in all of us right now. And I've had that beating for, at the time it was 50 something years. And, one day it just stopped. And it was building that trust
again. That took a long time. That wasn't something that just happened.
What a great gift that doctor gave you, though. The mindset of talking to your heart and being in a relationship with your heart. I mean, what a great thing to do to help someone, through their journey. Speaking of journeys, it's been really impressive how you have created this community of survivors, people who have similar experiences that are, but not only helping each other, but helping the world. Tell us about your work with survivors.
Survivors Have Heart. It's something that I am so proud of. I mean, I've gotten to do really great things in my career. I have worked with Michelle Obama. I mean, it's like, these things have been really great in my life. Survivors Have Heart is something that is so personal to me. And when it first started, it was in a loft here in Manhattan, and it was like less than a year of having my heart attack. And we thought, let's bring in fellow heart attack survivors and their caregivers, and let's hear their stories and come together. And it was very much like, it was like a group therapy. We didn't even realize what we had. And the most interesting part about this is I was in the power position, right? I was the one that has brought everyone in. And so throughout the years, we've been doing this for such a long time now. Survivors Have Heart has honestly helped to put me back together again. One of the most interesting parts or components of Survivors Have Heart, the stories of the caregivers, because people don't realize what they've gone through. I remember this one wife was talking about how she's just doing everything she could, handling his moods, just juggling everything.
Giving him his pills, handling his moods.
That's right.
Helping,
And her thing was, at the end of the night, when they were in bed together, she said there were times where I would just lay in bed and I would just need to hear him breathing. And that to me was just so powerful. Because as a heart attack survivor, you have your own journey, but the caregiver has got such an emotional journey for themselves.
You're doing a lot of yoga teaching these days. How has this practice of yoga played a role in your recovery?
Before my heart attack, my workouts have always been very important. I was a CrossFit guy. I was the guy that did these workouts that afterwards I'm just falling on the ground. I'm a sweaty mess. I'm exhausted, and it was something very, very intoxicating about that. Since I've had my heart attack, I've had to switch and change and pivot.
Part of our overall recovery or fitness journey, I think, for anyone, is incorporating our family into our lives, including our furry friends. Now, at the American Heart Association, of course, we have funded research that shows that pet ownership reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, increases physical activity, and brings more joy to a person's life. You and I share a passion for furry friends. How did your Havanese pup help you in your recovery?
When I had my heart attack, I only had one dog, Carl, and it was when I was in the hospital, and he has just been with me through everything. And there was one point when my friends snuck him into the hospital.
I love it.
And brought him in, and I have pictures of me in the hospital with Carl there, and there were times when the nurses would come in, and she'd just be like, I don't see a dog in here.
Exactly. Dog? What dog?
There's no dog.
You have a furry pillow on your bed.
Yes, exactly. And so Carl and I were very, very bonded through this experience. Like I said, with our walk, I only wanted to be with him. He slept by my side every day. I recently lost him, and it has been a very...
So sorry.
Thank you. It's been a very tremendous loss because of what we've gone through. I have another Havanese. Her name is Vivian. I got her right after my heart attack. And I remember saying to friends and my assistant, I'm going to get another dog.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self, you've probably heard people that say, let's write a letter to our younger self. What would your letter to yourself say?
I would tell my younger self that it's all going to work out. Don't get so twisted. Take a breath and realize that as hard as life can be when you're young. There's so much to look forward to. The unknown can be one of the greatest things and greatest gifts that we could ever be given. And that's what I would tell my younger self.
And it goes to show you, anything you dream is possible.
Absolutely.
Bob Harper, thank you for this amazing conversation today. You are an inspiration to all of us. You certainly have had a lot of impact on my life and for all of us at the American Heart Association. We're so grateful to you. Keep it up. You look amazing, and we'll look forward to continuing to connect.
Thank you so much.
Bob Harper is truly an inspiration, not just in his loving approach as a health and wellness coach, but in how he is leading his new life. And just as life is full of surprises, so are our bodies. Research unlocks more of these surprises each day. I would love to hear from you, so comment below, hit subscribe, and join me here next time for more inspiring conversations. From my heart to yours, thank you for watching.